I'll, I'll hand over to Jackie. Hi, Jackie, welcome. And it is your turn to continue.
Thank you so much, Irene. And yeah, we're so appreciative of you having opened this space for us and the kinds of conversations that we can have here. So I'm going to talk this evening, about what we call the art of hosting, the art of participatory leadership, which is a style of facilitation that that brings together certain principles and certain processes. And I'm quite sure that many of you use some of those processes as facilitators in any case. But I wanted to have a chance to dig in a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper this evening. And we'll play a bit, we'll experience some things. And, at the moment we're a small group, so we'll have a chance to discuss and to discuss and share. So I wanted to begin, usually in one of the processes is the circle practice. And I thought that we should start with that here. I mean, I think the circle is a space where we all arrive with a space for our own voice to be heard. We make sure that we do hear each voice. And it is a space where we can share, we can share what's on our mind. And we will usually start with such a circle practice, especially if it's a small group. It's hard if you're 100 people, because then 100 voices is going to, we would do it in a different way. So I'm going to invite us to just take 30 seconds to arrive here. One of the things about checking in a circle is giving us time to arrive, be present, let go of the rest of our day or what's yet to come, and give our attention to this moment together. I mean, for this moment, we're creating a little new community, the few of us who are here. So I'm just going to invite us to close our eyes for 10, 15 seconds, allow ourselves to arrive, and then really think about just how am I arriving today? What's on my mind? What's at the top of my mind? So I'll give a signal in 15 seconds, and then we'll take time to go around our little circle and check in. Ding! I don't have my actual bell with me. So that's the question, and anyone can begin, and then when you're done, pass it to somebody else on your screen. And so, how am I arriving, and what's on the top of my mind? And I think we heard where most people were from. Not Chipo didn't tell us, but but mention that too if you like again. So who'd like to begin? Often in a physical environment, we would also use a talking piece, a listening piece, so that while you have the piece, your turn is sacred. And it's your time to we won't take long, a minute or so each. Welcome, Auntie.
Hi, Dee.
We're just starting a round of a check-in. We're just taking a moment to say, how am I arriving? What's on the top of my mind today? And maybe I can begin just to kick us off, and then I'm going to pass to somebody. So I'm Jackie. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm arriving a little bit flustered. Irene and I were talking as I arrived about as soon as you agree to do something, you think it's an open month and suddenly it's not. Piles of things are coming in. So I was a bit flustered during the course of the day and then took my time to arrive and get centered for this evening. So a little bit flustered, but also grateful to be here and grateful to meet new faces. And I shall pass to John.
Thank you. Well, my word is also flustered. Reason being, I had quite a busy day, and then I thought I'm done for the day and went out for a bike ride, which was nice. And then I remembered, oh, I can't miss this session. So here I am, but all feels a bit rushed, but I'll settle down. Let me pass to Dahiru.
Hi, Dahiru, can you unmute? Are you there?
Probably not.
Then we'll go to Chipo.
Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. This is Chipo Bangira. I'm currently in Cape Town, but I'm Zimbabwean. I'm from Zimbabwe. In terms of how I have arrived to this space, so it has been quite a busy day for me. So much anxiety because of the so many pieces that I have to put together and working on. But then also grateful that there's spaces like this where you also connect to people who do the same things that we all love. So really grateful for that. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. I will pass it on to Teresa.
Hello. So I'm in Manchester in the UK, so it's just the end of my workday, which feels a nice relief. It's been quite busy, and a bit out of sorts because we had a bank holiday yesterday. So today I feel like it's Monday, even though I know it's Tuesday. So I feel like this is a nice transition from my workday into my evening of having to walk the dog in the rain. So that's me. I'll pass on to Kate.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kate. It's 9 in the morning where I am. I'm in the US in Tucson, Arizona. I'm coming in sleepy and tired, like on a soul level. I've been trying to make a career transition for a long time, and I'm a single parent. And I don't regret for a minute all the sacrifices, career sacrifices I've made for parenting, but I feel the loss. But I'm also really glad to be here. I'm actually holding a talking piece. It's quite chipped and broken, but it's a rose quartz heart. And one of the things that drew me to this was the heart of African facilitation. I love how you just went straight to the heart. Thank you. I'm grateful to be here, and I will pass it on to Irene.
Hi, everyone. I'm joining excited, a little tired because we've been having something we call Media Festival, or in short, MyFest, and we have different sessions because we have people who join us from different parts of the world. So the sessions are either too early or too late or too many sometimes. So when you have all that and you're hosting, then it can get really quite a bit. I'm sharing the link to MyFest in the chat just in case you want to know what it's about. And I'm passing on to Arti.
Hi, everyone. My name is Arti Wabikirsoon. I come from beautiful South Africa, residing in Johannesburg. I'm coming into our session today. I think I started off the day quite anxious because I had a couple of things on the go, but as the day wore on, It's been actually a very productive and beautiful day. So I'm feeling far more relaxed coming into this. And I must say, I just want to add on to Kate's point that I loved the title of this. It drew me in, and I'm very pro-African, pro-South African, pro anything our continent, because I think we tend to undermine a lot of wonderful things that we can share and offer, and I'm eager to hear and share insight. Thank you.
Maybe Deborah. Mm-hmm.
Hello. Hi, Jackie. Hi, John. Nice to meet you, Irene, and the others. I'm Deborah. It's my first time joining a seminar like today. I'm already feeling a lot more grateful that I joined than at the start, because I was feeling flustered, if that's an understatement. I've had quite a very challenging day at the bank. The negotiations didn't go as I expected for the sale of the house. But anyway, I'm already feeling a lot more centered just with all the positive energy coming. And I love the topic, and I'm looking forward to learning more about the art of participatory leadership. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you. Thank you. Dahiru, are you there? Are you with us? No, maybe not. So
Yes, ma, I'm with you.
Oh yes, okay. So let's how are you arriving? How are you feeling today? What's on the top of your mind?
I'm feeling good, and I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone here. First of all, like what I said earlier, my name is Air Umar. I'm joining you from Nigeria, Kano State, and also I am a student from Bayero University, Kano. This is my first time joining the wonderful seminar here, and I want to learn a lot of things here. That is what I want to say. Thank you.
No, well, welcome everyone. And so I find, the purpose of the check-in is to kind of gauge the energy. We can feel, some of us at the beginning of our day, quite a lot of flustered going on. And it gives us a chance to shed that a little bit and to be together. Now, I just wanted to oh, Nancy, did Nancy not speak? Nancy, thank you. Nancy.
Thank you so much. I'm joining you from Nairobi, Kenya. I thought you had forgotten me, but I know we had chatted a bit earlier, so it's fine. I come in quite grateful. The whole day I've been toying with an idea of training my fellow staff members. We have trainings every month. And I was just thinking about leadership, and then I stumbled on this. So I think it was just a thing that nature was telling me this is the place to be. So I'm grateful to be here and for meeting all of you. And again, it's my first time, so I'm looking really forward to it. Thank you.
No, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you all. And a few first timers as well, attracted by the heart and the hosting. So talking a little bit more about hosting and why we call it hosting and why we call it participatory leadership. I think all of us know what it means to host, be hospitable, welcome people into our homes. And a lot of what the principles of hosting a space are about doing that, providing a hospitable place, providing a hospitable space, and a safe space where we are able to share from our hearts. So I think, the heart is also very much part of the art of participatory leadership. It assumes an organic ecosystem rather than a rigid hierarchical ecosystem, and tries to embrace the whole, be flexible, adaptive, and emergent. And I wanted us later on in our session to talk more about emergence. But some of the principles are that new solutions don't come from old ways. And so how do we navigate complex situations? How do we navigate uncertainty? How are, it's not like we're building airplanes or cars where you have to just go on your production line. We need to use our imaginations, our minds, our hearts, even our bodies to start thinking in different ways. We also based very much on appreciative principles, that we have what we need in any group. And what the facilitation is about is helping people surface that. So often it's not that experts and specialists are not important, but it's that they are not everything, that we need a chance to surface what we call the collective wisdom and the collective intelligence. That I think we often find many of us come, certainly in Zimbabwe, we come from quite a hierarchical and rigid school system and quite a hierarchical political system where we don't often have a chance to find out what we really think ourselves. And so a lot of this is about enabling us, to think and to tap into the power of our own wealth and wisdom. Certainly in our experience, another thing which I've spoken to John a little bit about and Irene is I have work at it's been sort of, the home of my facilitation is a place called Kofunda Village in Zimbabwe, which uses the art of hosting, the art of participatory leadership as an operating principle. The village has been going now for about 20 years. And we've used these methods from grassroots communities to actually in 2 weeks' time, we're hosting a huge 150-person agroecology conference for Africa. So going from the very small to the very large, but as the power of facilitation to bring people together, to be present together, and to know that you matter. I think that's the biggest thing, that conversation matters. When people get together, it's conversation that matters. It's speaking from the heart. It's listening to understand rather than to respond. So within those principles, there are many methodologies. But before I jump onto that, I mean, we're a small group. So if anyone's got I'd also be quite interested to know how much people already know about some of the methodologies. I mean, we'll have a little chance to practice World Cafe during our call here, but are there any questions? What do people already know? If anyone wants to jump in now before we move on to the next thing.
Jackie, I'd just like to say thank you. I love the way that you set the tone for this next hour and a half together.
No, thanks, Deborah. Thank you. I think one of the biggest things is this being present. Oh, thank you, John has put the link to Kofunda in the chat. Chipo, you'll have to visit us when you come home. And we are actually going to offer a full art of hosting training in October in Harare, probably, maybe at Kofunda. But there's something I think about. We also use a lot of what we call the fourfold practice, because what we found is that, and it's what's given us our experience in the village, is that as we've worked on the inner self, we are able to manifest better in the outer world. So one of the kind of mindsets as the fourfold practice, which begins with hosting yourself, looking after yourself, knowing how, and part of that is knowing how to get centered, how to get grounded after a flustered day. I mean, I've had a really irritating last 3 days since I came back from Johannesburg, actually, Archie, where I was on holiday with my granddaughters. And since I got home, it always arrives with, and so I've had to consciously get centered, get grounded, host myself. Remember that if I don't host myself, then I can't host anybody else. And then the kind of second part of the fourfold practice is allowing yourself to be hosted, which is often something we don't do very well as facilitators or as mothers. You know, we're used to, okay, do this, do that. So it's hard to let yourself have a conversation if you don't let yourself be welcomed, if you don't open yourself up to vulnerability. And so that's another important practice is let yourself be hosted, let go of your own your own judgments, your own need for perfection, and be hosted. And then the third part is co-hosting, co-creating, so that you're starting to get energy in in a group, and moving on from that to a community of practice, to co-creation, to the kind of thing that we're doing that you bring us together with the Heart of African Facilitation, that this whole network does, and always coming back. So that's a model that we use a lot, and it has certainly helped me in being a facilitator, in allowing my energy to be calm, even when I'm not feeling calm. So what I wanted to explore a little bit today is this notion of emergence. When I say that word, what does it, I mean, and we'll do this, and how many are we, Irene? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're 10. So maybe we'll do 3 groups. You and I can also join if that's okay. I think that's helpful. But so when we go into the groups, there'll sort of be 3 questions, at least. So we'll stay in one group, and what do I understand by emergence is the first question. And then we'll look at, when have I experienced it in my work or in my life? And then we're going to mix up the groups a little bit to try and look at what's the principle behind that. So this is an idea that this is 2 things. 1, to explore the idea of emergence, but 2, to do it in a kind of cafe format so that we experience what it means to tap into the different conversations and to gather that. And to gather all the threads from the whole group. The World Cafe is a methodology that can be used, from, well, you sort of need a minimum of like what we've got here, maybe 10, but you can use it with up to 1,000 people, and enabling really a weaving of enable a weaving of conversations, and that you get, then at the end you'll harvest the nuggets of what comes out. We also use it quite a lot so instead of having, for example, Q&A panels, we'll often have a moderated panel, and then instead of Q&A, first go into a cafe after that, which the panel can participate in, so that you're really, they're informing the discussion, but we're also drawing on our own wisdom and experience. And I think that's one of the key things about the art of participatory leadership, is allowing you to draw on your own experience, your own leadership, the things that that you often are too shy to surface. So, Irene, I'm going to ask you to put us into two groups. Where shall I put that? Let me just put that question into the chat.
Two only or
So
three? Would you
three
like
would give
to?
us 3, 4, would it? Or
It
what
would
have
give
we?
us someone has left, so
Oh, someone has
have
left.
we would have two and
Let's
three, which is okay.
no, let's do two groups then, Irene. I think that's fine.
Okay,
Mm,
okay,
yes.
okay.
So the first
All
question, what
right.
do I understand about emergence? And in the same group, you know, just give an example of you know, experiencing emergence. You know, is it
You will also share that in the chat so that when people get there. And how many minutes do you want us in the breakout rooms, please?
I mean, I think if we're just 3 in a group, I think about 7.
7 minutes. Okay,
Yes.
with about 30 minutes to come back. So we will be there.
Okay.
So I will open the rooms now. Are we ready? You've shared the message in the chat?
I
Send
have,
people in the
yes.
rooms.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
And maybe put us in different groups, Irene.
Yeah, yes,
You and me.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You just join the room that is showing. Just click on join and you'll be taken to the room.
Jackie, there's 2 questions or 3?
I think she's gone to her.
There seems to be 2 in the chat. So.
Yeah, there are 2. Yeah, we can ask her in whatever she is.
Yeah, just check with her if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Arti, in which group? Let me see. Arti, you're in group 1. Are you able to join? Arti, are you able to join group 1? Hi, Grace. You came in when we are joining breakout rooms, so I'll send you to a breakout room if you don't mind. We have 2 questions that we are discussing there. And
okay.
Yeah, is that okay? I'm taking you too
Yeah,
fast,
that's
but don't
okay.
worry. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. So I'll
Okay,
send you
thanks.
to yes. Yeah. Artie, would you like to join a group or you'd like to stay here?
No, I'd like to join a group.
No, I've sent you somewhere to I've sent you to group 2. Can you see the message that is on your
Sorry,
screen
can you
that
resend it again?
says join?
Can you send it again? Can you
Sorry?
resend it again? I think I accidentally clicked on it. Cancel. Can you
Oh,
resend
I
it,
see.
please?
Okay, I think I've sent you to room 1. Someone else, I think, left the rooms. So we'll see. I've sent you to group 1 now. So I hope you've seen it now, Grace. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. While you're away, we got two more. Well, Artie was still here, but we got Grace and Linda. So I hope their
Yes.
connection is
Welcome,
still
Linda.
good.
Welcome, Grace. Oh,
Back
and
to you.
John, you managed to connect again.
No, I haven't gone anywhere. It's
Oh, okay. Somewhere I
Chipo
thought I
got-
saw a message saying there was a bad
No,
network.
that was Chipo.
Oh, it was cheapo. Oh, okay. I'm obviously not looking at the chats very well tonight. So, Linda, Grace, do you want to say hello and where you joining us from?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I'm sorry the background is a bit noisy. I've just left work, I'm headed home, but I'm joining you from Nairobi County in Nairobi, Kenya.
Thank you. Welcome. And Grace?
Hello. Good
Hi there.
evening. My name is Grace Cole. I'm from Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. So we had we were talking about what emergence means to us and when have we experienced emergence. So I want you to mix us up again, Irene, into different, just mix us up. We'll see how into another two groups. And I want us to talk this time about what enabled the emergence. I'm not sure what happened in your group. Did you have a good conversation Did you have long enough to speak? Irene, John?
I stayed in the main room. I didn't join a group, so perhaps
Oh, you didn't
John?
join. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So perhaps John or Teresa?
Yeah, I
Artie,
was
or
with
you-
Teresa and Deborah. We talked more about our understanding of the word. We didn't, which was quite nice. It was an interesting discussion. We didn't get a lot of time to talk about our own
Well,
experiences.
maybe we'll have let's have a little bit longer this time and let's talk about sort of two things. One is when have I experienced emergence and what allowed it to happen? So I'll put that into the chat and maybe I think we should give 10 minutes, Irene.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Let me put that into the chat. So when have I experienced emergence and what enabled that? What enabled that? What allowed it to emerge? What allowed emergence to emerge? No, thanks, Irene. So if you
Okay.
mix us up.
Okay, I've tried. Some of you will still because it's just two rooms. So
Yes.
okay,
Let's
there
see
you
how we
go.
go.
I've
Thank you.
sent the join, so you can click and you join. Whoever comes, I'll pick a room for them to go in. There was a person who was kicked out of the room, so. Grace, are you? Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we've got a few people with connectivity problems. Linda was dropping in and out and she's gone again, but she said she was almost home. So that might that might help. So let's share what did we also didn't quite have enough time with the in and out and up and down, but let's share what we feel are the key takeaways of allowing emergence. What came out of our groups? Deborah, Artie?
I perhaps can switch off the recording so that people can feel free to
I
share.
think so,
perhaps?
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I think are quite universal with now the World Cafe, open space we use a lot, and appreciative inquiry, and you know, also dialogue. I mentioned the circle already. And I don't know if there's any if there's any specific questions about anything, or if there's some place that anyone wants to, you know, just talk about their own experience or ask for more clarity, you know, as this is just a quick little experiential intro. If so, so I think I just wanted to finish with seeing if there's any questions, anything to share, any desire for, you know, further delving. So maybe we just have a round again and we could all just speak in how with, you know, if there's something to say or not.
Yeah, perhaps I can start. I use a lot of methods in facilitation, and the top method, the one that the one that I really like, apart from the World Cafe, of course, is the fact that you can let people choose where they want to go. And that is one of the methods in the art of hosting. You can tell people you can start here, or you can choose where to start, but you make sure you go where it suits you or where you feel you want to go. I think that's one of the best things that I learned in facilitation, and it's one of the methods that is used in the art of facilitation. So I don't know what the others have experienced with that.
Yes, I must say I like that too. It's kind of giving back the responsibility for, and it's one of the principles of open space, is the law of 2 feet, that that you know, you can't finish and say, well, nobody brought this up. You have to throw it back and say, if you really wanted to talk about it, then you needed to. And so I like that a lot too, that you know, the self-organizing and taking responsibility for your own learning and participation. Dahiro, yes, you had your hand raised.
Yes, ma. So I want to say sorry because I have a bad network here with me. But I appreciate your program. Sorry for my inconvenience.
Okay, we know it's just. Hello, Maureen.
I think they're still connecting.
Still connecting.
The connection is bad, yeah. Our connectivity is pretty bad, yeah.
No, we're not having much luck with, people are not having much luck with connectivity this evening. Any other questions or comments from anyone else?
I'm just wondering, Jackie, if we could, as a follow-up of this, we could have another session where we talk about each method on its own and actually practice that method.
We
that
could do
would really
that,
be
yes.
cool. Yes, that would really be cool, where we have 15 minutes or 20 minutes on that method, and at least we pick 3 of the methods and just go
Yes,
through them.
we could do like a methodology marketplace.
Yes. Yes.
Come and try
Bring
out,
your own
try
method,
them out,
kind of thing.
try out at the market stall. Yes. Okay. No, we can talk about that.
Jackie, maybe a question from my side, and it's probably because I got disconnected, so I completely missed it. The inquiry method that you're referring to, is it very similar to the work of the Inquiry Institute, like Marilee Adams? think her name is?
Not
Not at all.
No. Yes, there are commonalities, but I mean,
Okay.
it's quite specific in terms of, just so there's principles around starting from appreciation. And actually, one of the examples which we've used at Kufunda, the village that I work in, is what we noticed is when we were doing our strategic planning or our end of year review, and we'd always start with, oh, we didn't manage to do this and we didn't manage to do that. And look at how, this was our target and we didn't get there. And one year we shifted to start celebrating and appreciating what we had done. And the energy shift was amazing. So instead of going into this vortex of feeling bad about ourselves, we could begin from feeling good. and that gave us so it's one thing about the appreciative inquiry is that it's not to say that you ignore the challenges and the bad things that are happening, but if you focus on the positive energy, you allow yourself to enter in with a much more positive mindset. So the appreciative inquiry we use often as an intro into a World Cafe, that you would be sharing a positive experience, and then you start to look at just so a little bit like we did here, then what enabled that, so that you can begin from enablers. And so using it in dialogue a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you. That makes it really, really clear. Thanks very much.
And lots of the, I mean, as Irene suggesting our methodology cafe, our methodology marketplace, I mean, all of the art of hosting stuff is open source. And, you can find quite a lot of, lots of practitioners blog and, share experiences and so on. So you can find quite a lot of material online for the different methodologies.
Thanks very much. I'm actually going to check in on that. So in terms of facilitation on my side, I suppose I really came into it through the Lego serious play methodology, to be honest, which in my mind does link up really nicely to participatory leadership. It's something I do more and more now in the African space. I think having that sort of third eye and the tactile intervention just naturally leads people into bringing a lot more of themselves than they originally thought they would into a session. So I can definitely see like those types of synergies. But, unlike what I'm hearing around these other facilitative methods that you're talking about, this is something that does tend to be a little bit more designed, because there's often a purpose or a particular outcome that needs to be achieved, but certainly the manner in which people get to that is not prescribed in any way. So I think they just generate so much more insights out of it, which is probably the crux of what you're sharing from today. So thanks.
I think so. Thank you, Artie.
Yeah, I think just really adding to the conversation, for me, I mean, I'm sure we've all met people who just like, there's so much on this particular method or set of methods, that's all they do. And I've had that weakness as well, if it's a weakness. So the more you know, the better, I think, because then you're able to swap around, and not be so rigid in terms of, oh, we need to do it this way always, Having said that, I don't do anything without using one of the top methods, technology of participation, because I've been using them for so many years, decades really, that they're kind of deep within me. However, what I find interesting is sometimes trying to use another method, and I still go back to something like focused conversation method for those who know it, because it's so kind of deeply in me. So I think I don't know, there's this school of thought where they say, learn the process and then throw away the manual, so once you understand something, then start to do it differently and make it work for you, in that sense. So that's probably the weakness of any kind of set of methods, because you know there's so many hundreds and thousands of methods that we could use, you know, so there's always more to learn, which is what makes it interesting, eh? Yeah.
It is. There's always more to learn. I think it's, you know, I think it's about those core principles as well. And then within that, you've got, you know, you're creating a safe, enabling space, and up to you to also find, you know, the different ways to do that and to be in tune with your, you know, with your client. Because sometimes you need a different language with different clients. Any last words, Kate or Deborah?
Yeah, just listening to John, I came across an article the other day. I think it was an article, and it basically said all models are wrong. And I really like that, because I'm like, oh, phew, it's all right now, you know. They're all wrong, you know, given, you know, if you put them in one context, there's always something missing, or yeah. So, and that sort of brought a lot of solace to me, and it sort of I was reminded of that when John was saying, what was it? Somebody said, read the manual and then chuck it in the bin. So yeah.
Once you
no, understand it as well.
Yeah, understand it, obviously, yeah.
I have a question that I would love to pose to the group. Having visual aids and slides as part of our facilitation, I have really mixed feelings about it. You know, when I was trained as a Peace Circle facilitator in Chicago, one of my teachers said, oh, I can't stand slides. You know, it takes the energy from the eye contact and the circle. And I agreed 100% at the time. But now I'm finding that sometimes when I do incorporate some slides, images can really move people. Seeing quotes visually can really inspire people. And I'm trying to find a balance between, you know, using some visual elements, but also, you know, letting that energy of the circle happen. So I'm just curious if any of you ever use slides or visual elements, and how you balance that with, you know, letting space for emergence and for the group to be central and not, you know, whatever you're showing them.
Well, I certainly do. I mean, what we tend to do as well, if it's a long conference, is start populating the walls of the room as well with what's gradually coming out. So that you've got a combination of visuals that are coming out of the sessions, whether it's a graphic harvest or whether it's, you know, different kinds of notes or posters. And I think slides, I think it's again a little bit for me like where are we focusing? And sometimes it's really good to have that takeaway as well, even if you know, you might be going through it quickly there and then allowing the conversation, but it's people like to sometimes have that as a takeaway, as a reminder, and as a so for me it depends quite a lot on the size of the group, on the makeup of the place even. You know, sometimes when you've got bad tech and things, well, then it just simply isn't worth it. But if you, and then you know, throw it away, understand it and throw it away. What are others' experiences there?
My challenge with slides, I like slides because then they, as Jackie said, they are like a guide of where are we, how many minutes, and that kind of thing. But also because I like modeling what I'm doing to others, so they can also use those slides or adapt or adopt or whatever word we use. In the past 3 years, I've come to learn about accessibility and the things that we do on slides. Some of them are very inaccessible. The colors that we use are also inaccessible because I have problems with having white on anything that is not black. My eyes don't read that, so I get, they throw me off. So I lose concentration and I start doing other things. So I perhaps did not understand that a lot until we started working with the blind students, stroke assistant from the American University in Cairo. So he's very open to being asked any silly questions that we all ask, and quite a number of people come to talk about a lot of disabilities and neurodivergent people and that kind of thing. And we have seen the diversity in disabilities, not just I'm blind. There's this spectrum of blindness, or I am deaf. There's such a big a spectrum of deafness, and so on and so on, and HD, a lot of things. So I've learned to just be considerate as we continue. I like telling people if they have any questions they need to ask, people can get can ask questions in the back channel, or just say, no, I don't like what you're doing, just openly, so that as a facilitator, I learn from that, but I don't take offense when someone says whatever you're sharing doesn't make sense, or I can't see it, or that kind of thing. So anytime you do slides, then you need to have a caveat where you speak it, because most people who join Zoom or who join sessions most of them hear. So at least you have that, you can share with them what you're doing and that kind of thing. And also you can describe things on your slides, what you're sharing. If there's an image, you can say it's an image of a young girl, or an image of a young man who is wearing this, who is that kind of thing. So that's, I'm now digressing. So yeah, slides for guidance, but not for a lot of other things because of accessibility. But thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah, I have to say I'm one of those people who used to really be very prejudiced against slides, for all the reasons we know. But then coming online has kind of forced me to rethink. But then people hide behind slides too much online, don't they? It's like, then there's this thing of, oh, you can only welcome back, Linda. That's good that you came back. You can't do anything without slides. Of course you can. You haven't had any slides tonight, Jackie, and it's been great session, interesting discussion. So, I think we shouldn't feel we can't do things without slides, but at the same time we should feel that we can use them. The way I've seen them used best, there was a session a couple of months ago with this project in Senegal, and we did a blog about it. So you'll have, those who see the blog that I do, we did a post. It's called the Grandmother Project, and it was a really long slide presentation. There must have been 30 slides there, but many of them were so powerful. It was a photo, and that was it, a slide, or it was a beautiful quote or something like that, and the guy who did it, he used it so well, because almost every slide was provoking thoughts, discussion, all kinds of things. So it is possible, but it needs to go with a, what's the word, like a caution.
The caveat, as Irene said,
Yeah,
yes.
that's it.
Oh, Linda, you came back and we're just about to finish, but it's lovely to see you. Sorry you had such a challenge with your connectivity on the way home.
Yeah, I had a problem, but I'm now at home. At least I'm
Yes.
settled, yeah.
Yes. So we're just about to wrap up, actually. I don't know if there's any last words. We were just summing up you know. In fact, we were just because we were just answering a question about visuals and slides and just sharing our experiences about the pros and cons. But just any last words from anyone now? Anything you'd like to say, Linda? I know that it was a bit shaky for you coming in and out.
Okay, what I can say is I'm grateful to meet you for the first time. And I'm grateful to John because he's the one who invited me to the forum. And I'm happy to join and share insights with you. And I'm hoping to join you then in the next meeting so that we can share, learn, and learn. Yeah.
Great.
We can learn, relearn, and unlearn whatever we know and what we don't know. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I see the slide conversation is still going on in the chat. Yes, I agree with you, Irene. I think if you keep them on the screen too much, that's what then starts distracting. But it's to find the balance. And you know, I think we opened our call with talking about energy, you know, bringing our energy into the group, and you know, I think that's always our hope as a facilitator, is to be monitoring that and going with it in our groups. So I'd just like to say thank you all. Thank you, Irene. I mean, thank you so much, really, for offering this space and inviting us, and thank you all for joining us this evening. And oh, you're muted.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
I think
Thank you.
we need to all meet in Kufunda village, eh?
Yes, please. I'll send you the invitation. Who knows? Some
Yeah.
of you might come. October.
So thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to, in the Heart of African Facilitation, anyone and everyone is welcome. Suggest a topic and we'll find a date for you that within the calendar, and we'll try to promote the session as much as we can. So anyone and everyone is welcome to do that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for making the session such a success. And I am going to stop recording so that we can say our final bye-byes without the recording.